up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and yesterday I came across a news story that really stuck out to me. Now, this news story should have been one of those feel-good news stories. One of those news stories that just gives you hope, that makes you feel good inside. But instead, this news story made me feel weird. It made me feel as if something was off about this story. And listen, I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. But my gut feeling is telling me that there is something up with this story. And I want to hear from you all. Is it just me? Or are y'all getting weird vibes from this story as well? Now, the story I'm talking about is about a missing person that was missing for 8 years, but has now been found. And as someone who has covered missing persons cases in the past, when a missing person is found alive, it is nothing short of a miracle. It's something, it's a cause for celebration. It's something that is really surprising, honestly, because more often than not, missing persons cases do not have a happy ending. Often, missing people are never found, and their status of if they're alive, where they went, what happened, those are questions that often never get answered. They just become a mystery for years and years and years. Now, 99% of the time when missing people are found, they're not found alive. You find a body, you find remains. It's kind of something that you prepare yourself for when covering missing persons cases, because it's just a fact that more often than not, it doesn't end well. But this story is a little bit different. This story is about a 25-year-old who went missing when he was 17. His name is Rudy Farias. He went missing in Houston, Texas, while walking his dogs. Somehow, some way, this kid was never found. And now, yesterday, 8 years later, he has been found. He's alive. I wouldn't say that he's in the best health. I think they say that he has scratches and bruises and cuts and lacerations on his body, but he is alive. 8 years later, found in the same exact city where he went missing. Now that right there was enough to kind of make me raise my eyebrows. So you want me to believe that a 17-year-old went missing in Houston and has been missing in Houston for 8 years and no one could find him, even though he's still in the same city? Now, like I said, he went missing while walking his dogs. Conveniently enough, his family found the dogs really quickly, but they never found Rudy until now. Now, this may not seem weird to you yet, but I want you all to watch this news clip. And I want you all to let me know if you find anything wrong with what you see in this news clip. Once you see it, if you do see it, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And before we tune into this clip, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this story out there. I am trying to reach 100K subscribers. Hitting that thumbs up button really goes a long way into helping this channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this news clip, and then I'll be back with more thoughts.
We begin on this Sunday with breaking news. An incredible story about a missing teenager found alive 8 years after he disappeared. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor has been gathering information about his return. She joins us live. Brooke, these stories don't always have happy endings, but this one appears to have a resolution.
Exactly, Tom. That's why you could just imagine this family's relief after a long 8 years. So Rudy Farias was 17 years old when he was first reported missing. Now that would make him 25 years old. So back in March of 2015, officials said that Rudy Farias was walking his two dogs right near Tidwell and Park Drive. His family reported him missing after his dogs were found, but Farias never returned. His family told officials at the time he was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Texas EquiSearch started asking the public for help trying to find him, saying that he was possibly disoriented and he had not been taking his medication. His mom spoke to us in 2017. She stayed anonymous because she was afraid that she believed her son's disappearance was suspicious.
Someone out there knows something. Anything. I just want the closure. That not knowing, that's torture.
And the Texas Center for Missing People tweeted out earlier that he was now in the hospital. We have calls out to officials. There are still a lot of questions right now, like where he was found and where he has been, of course, these last 8 years. We are going to try and get those answers. Live in Houston, I'm Brooke Taylor, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
So, did any of you all see what I am talking about? Listen, maybe it's not even my place to be making this video right now. Some people will probably find a way to be offended by this. But this mother refusing to show her face does not sit right with me. You want me to believe that a mother who is frantically searching for her missing child wouldn't even show her face? She wants to remain anonymous? How is that not sending off red flags everywhere? I look on social media and much of the true crime community, they're celebrating, oh yay, we're so happy, this is a miracle, Rudy was found. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm glad he was found, but some questions really need to be answered here. And with the true crime community, you get either one thing or the other. You get people who go balls to the wall saying crazy stuff, spreading fake information and just going crazy. And then you get the people who are afraid to address things like this. Kind of like with the Brian Kohberger case, no one wants to talk about how the surviving roommates didn't call 911 when their other roommates were getting murdered in the house. They don't ask certain questions. They get offended if you do. But we don't worry about that on this channel. So I am asking, why in the hell was this mother refusing to show her face on the news? She says it's because she thinks her son went missing under suspicious circumstances. Yeah, it's suspicious when anyone goes missing. What I find suspicious is that y'all found the family pets, but never found your son. And you couldn't even be bothered to show your face on the news. So-called, you're frantically searching for your son, but you won't even show your face. You want to remain anonymous. Now, I have several different theories as to what may have happened here. I'm not going to get into those theories. But what I will say is that the mother saying that his disappearance was suspicious and that she was scared to show her face, that leads me to believe that this mother maybe had something going on. I don't want to say that she had something to do with this kid's disappearance, but if someone were to say that, I wouldn't argue with them because it looks very suspicious. What looks even more suspicious than her kid's disappearance is the fact that she's on the news refusing to show her face. Any parents, any mother that I could think of, even ones who actually killed their kids and are responsible for the disappearance of their kids, they usually get up there and show their face. They talk to the media. If you want me to believe that you are a parent that actually cares, I'm going to need to see your face. Blocking your face out is very suspicious. And like I said, I'm not going to say that she had something to do with this, although that's a possibility in my mind. At the very least, she has something to be afraid of. She's scared of something. She knows something. She knows that something or someone that she's afraid of may be behind her kid's disappearance. Maybe she's wrapped up in some hardcore nonsense, some illegal activities, I don't know. But something ain't right there. And let's talk about the fact that the kid went missing in Houston and was found in Houston. Now, anything could have happened within these 8 years. But if this kid was just wandering around Houston for 8 years, missing, that doesn't sit right with me. It does not sit right with me. Thinking that you couldn't find your family member for almost a decade and he's in the same city. He's found not too far from where he went missing, popped up at a church with cuts and stuff all over his body. I'm wondering if this dude was locked up in someone's basement or something. I'm really curious to know what's happening here. Now, Rudy, as far as I know, he hasn't said much yet. They're asking him questions. He's not really answering many questions. There's a lot of details that we're going to have to get out of Rudy, right? But as of right now, all we have to work with is this story about Rudy going missing and being found. And we have one news clip. His mother talking, refusing to show her face. And my gut feeling is telling me that something very wrong happened here. And that there's a strong possibility that people who are close to Rudy, supposedly close to Rudy, maybe knew more about his disappearance than what they say, or may even be somewhat responsible for it. Now, that's just my opinion. I want to make it clear that I'm not telling you all that anyone in particular is responsible for this. I don't want you all going and blaming his mama for all types of things and going crazy, but at the same time, I really have to look at this and be honest about my feelings and opinions, because I always am. And when I see his mother on the news refusing to show her face, and then I hear the details about this kid's disappearance, it's totally, something is obviously wrong here. And I hope that people aren't too afraid to ask those questions, because right now it's a sensitive time. You have a family that is supposedly reuniting with their child after 8 years. The kid is 25 now. He went missing when he was 17. Now, most people would probably assume that the kid was dead. This family, if they had nothing to do with his disappearance, they probably mourned their son, probably just figured he was gone. I don't think that, for the most part, people aren't holding out hope for someone being alive when they've been missing for 10 years, 8 years. You know what I mean? So I understand it's a very sensitive and emotional moment, but at the same time, you have to ask those hard-hitting questions. Because looking at the details surrounding this case, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense at all. Either, in my opinion, either this kid was locked up somewhere with someone hurting him or something, or maybe he got strung out on drugs on the street. But if that's the case, then I would think that he would have been found over the course of 8 years. 8 years, people. But you let me know what you think about this story. Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I will be talking to you all in the next video.